So I made a post on Instagram asking what you guys would do to the 2020 R1 after doing an exhaust and fender eliminator, just to see what you guys had on thoughts on mods for the bike. So I thought I'd go out today and talk about my entire build plan for this bike.
Oh man, what's going on, guys? Like I said, I'm going to be talking today about all of my build plans for this 2020 Yamaha R1. Just a little something that I do every time I have a new bike. Man, I am so excited for what we're going to be doing to this bike because, one, I have experience with an R1 before. Two, I have some experience with another leader bike, so there's all the ideas that I've gotten from that bike, the S1000, but also a lot of the stuff that I did with the R6 that I had, the 2017 R6. So you throw all that together and I got a lot of ideas for this bike. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned it before on the channel, but I know I mentioned it before on Instagram, but I got the Raven Edition R1, the all black one. And the reason that I did that is because I want to do a stealthed out bike. At least the first phase of this bike, that's what it's going to be. I may switch things up after I've owned it for a while. But, you know, I grew up watching all those Ghost Rider videos. I think he rode around in Sweden, maybe? All the bikes that he would have, by the way, if you're not familiar with Ghost Rider, you're probably a little bit too young, but there's this guy who basically was stealthed out, all black bike, and he would ride as hard as you could possibly ride on these highways and roads in Sweden or whatever, wherever it was, because I think a lot of the videos took place in Stockholm. But anyways, I've always wanted to do a stealthed out bike, kind of as a little homage to Ghost Rider. So that's why I bought the Yamaha R1 in the Raven Edition, because it's basically all blacked out already, aside from just the gold you see here on the top of the fork, the reflectors down at the bottom, and then a couple little silver pieces here and there, which will either be replaced or removed. And I'm talking about like the passenger pegs, the levers, but we'll get to that. So once you have that in mind, you kind of have the general vision for where I'm going with this bike. Everything on this bike that is not black is probably going to be changed. So if you've been around since I had my 2009 R1, you know I had that completely blacked out windscreen. I'm probably not going to do that again because I really like being able to see out of it when I'm fully tucked. Especially for you guys, because when I'm fully tucked, I can kind of see over the windscreen just a little bit, but you guys in the camera, you are fully behind that windscreen. So I want to do a dark smoke on the windscreen to block that out. Also at the front, doing the mirror delete and block off plates, of course with black block off plates. So like I do with all my bikes. I know some people seem to have a problem with it when I do the mirror deletes. I can barely see behind me as is with the stock mirrors, just because my shoulders are so wide. I'm always doing shoulder checks anyways, so the mirrors don't do a whole lot for me. Fresh pavement, nice. So yeah, I'll be doing the mirror delete. I just absolutely love the look of a bike with no mirrors because it looks like a race bike once you do that. So that'll be happening. One of the big mods, I plan to do the same DRLs that I did on the R6. That's from Intelligent Lighting Systems. He does them himself. He does full custom app controlled now via Bluetooth color changing DRLs. So if you're familiar with the newer R1s and R6s, they have LED strips within the front that are your DRLs, your daytime running lights. They're always on, and he replaces those with full RGB LED strips, and then he has an app that you can control them from, so you can have them pulse to music. You can change the startup sequence to how the lights behave when you turn on the bike. You can change how the turn signals look. I love that DRL mod. If you want to see the video I made about it on my R6, I'll link that down in the description. That's definitely on the list. Another thing that I did on the R6 that I absolutely loved was the JL Designs integrated brake light. It allows you to replace the stock red light with a smoked out tail light. So that's again going with the blacked out stealth look of the bike. It integrates your turn signals into the taillight, so of course when you get rid of the fender eliminator, or when you get rid of the rear fender with a fender eliminator, you're losing your turn signals on the rear. So that integrates the turn signals into the light. But on top of that, JL Designs also does these really cool turn signals that you put on the inlets on the tail. Let me pull over for a second, I'll show you guys. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so this is not a problem. Probably won't even have anyone pass me. So you see the inlets on the back. And along these little fins, they make turn signals, these little LED strips. And what's really awesome is when you put those on, they kind of eliminate this, or not eliminate, but illuminate this whole area back here. And it makes the makes it look really, really nice when you have your turn signal on. So as I mentioned, once you get rid of the fender, you need a turn signal solution in the back if you want to, you know, stay legal in most places. But for the fender eliminator, probably plan on going with the TST Industries fender eliminator. I've always loved their products. You know, TST has treated me right ever since, man, way back at the beginning. When I was probably just like 10,000 subs, back when I had my 2009 R1, TST was a really young company. You know, they supported me, and they've been there, and they make some great products. I think they make the best fender eliminators that you can get. So that will be the whole license plate setup. They make really cool setups that allow you to adjust them and make them real nice and tucked. Levers, another company that supported me for a long time is ASV Levers. I think they make some of the best levers that you can buy. Another set of levers that I've been using for a long time. I first got onto them from Downshift83. He had them on his R1. I absolutely loved them, and I started using them on my bikes. I always say I'm going to replace the grips, and I usually never end up doing so, even though I really, really like some aftermarket grips, especially like the Domino ones. Those are really nice. I was talking with Motivation. By the way, if you don't know Motivation, they provide a lot of the parts for my build. They're a distributor for a lot of different motorcycle parts for a lot of different bikes. I'll link them down in the description. But I was talking to Nate, the owner over there, and they make some, not Motivation, but there are some carbon tank guards that they sell that look real clean. They kind of just integrate with the lines of the bike, just as a little nice carbon accent. I'm not going to do full carbon on this bike. I'm staying on the stealth black look. I really like the kind of metallic black that Yamaha does on this bike. So that's what I'm going to stay with. But just having a nice little carbon accent I thought would be nice. Of course, the first mod already done, A Life's Better with Horsepower Reservoir Cover. You can get these at motonosity.com/shop. These are discounted until I sell out. Once they're sold out, I'm not going to be selling them again. This design is being retired. Moving on back on the bike, the seat. You guys know I always got to do my Louis Moto seat covers. They've been a huge supporter on the channel for a while. They are a long-term sponsor for me now too. I just appreciate those guys over there. They make some absolutely remarkable products. Super high quality seat covers, and their gold gel that I've done on the past couple of seats that I've done is just so comfortable. So I'll be doing that, probably doing a custom design. I'm probably going to do rear sets. I really want something adjustable. I don't know which ones I want to do yet, but that's on the list. And I can't believe I haven't mentioned it already, but probably the #1 thing that I'll be doing soon is protection. So radiator guard on the front to protect the massive radiators on these leader bikes. That'll help black out the look of the bike. And then the crash protection. So full frame sliders all around. I have Evotech on the S1000. I've been a long time fan of Evotech, so I'll probably go the same route if they've got frame sliders. Taking a lot of little back rows that I've never been on before. All of them are straight. Got a bunch of big ranches back here. Oh, how could I not mention it? ECU flash. Man, this bike needs it. I know there's a lot more that can come out of this bike. From the start, I already know this thing as is feels a lot slower than the S1000, but it should not feel that much slower. Nowhere near as bad as the S1000 was stock before I had that ECU flashed. Always makes a massive difference on these bikes. Probably do a sprint race filter on here, get a little bit of better airflow. I do want to dyno tune the bike, or do like a custom tune after I get it flashed, just to iron it out. But I want to get it on the dyno before I do anything to this bike, just so we can see what it puts down and we have a little baseline number. Oh, exhaust. Of course we are doing a full exhaust on this bike. I don't want to give too much away though. You guys will find out soon enough, I promise. But man, these bikes are just so freaking quiet. I don't quite know what I want to do yet about the brakes. I do want to improve them. I know for sure I'm going to be putting new pads on here, but it definitely needs some help. The stock brakes are not outstanding. Whether it be new lines, new calipers, new master cylinder, I don't know yet, but brakes definitely need some improvement. I'll probably throw a lithium battery on here, save some weight. I don't think I've missed anything. There may be a few things here and there that I'll be doing. If there's any ideas that you have, be sure to leave them down in the comments. I'll be looking at them. If you want to get any of my merch, such as these reservoir covers, you can get them at motonosity.com/shop. Make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you guys know when all the videos go live. And give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I got a long ways back because I'm out in the middle of freaking nowhere. You guys have been awesome. I've been Motonosity. Remember, life's better with horsepower. Keep life live. And I'll see you guys in the next one.